It is April 17th, 2025, and that makes this day 0 for Kanpai Con. Woo! Currently, I am doing just the couple of last minute things that I need to do. Just kind of got my day really started. We sort of took our time because we don't have to be there until a little later. It's only about a 4-hour drive. So I'm planning on doing my hair, changing my clothes because I am still in my pajamas. And I still need to cut some foam board because we are shifting from a square panel to, I finally got these longer grid panels. They're like 15 inches instead of 12 inches and they're more like rectangular. I'm so excited. We're gonna be able to fit so much more product on them. But we just got them just barely 2 days ago, so we still have a fair bit to do, and I'll kind of show you all that here in a little bit. I need to remember to use my microphones. I just got this little magic wand to clip it onto because I always see vloggers with their little devices like rulers or Sharpies that they clip their mics onto. So I got a wand. It's like I'm Glinda. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Just kind of getting my stuff together, cutting the foam board, and then we need to move some things over, which I will definitely show you. And also wanted to show off, I'm part of a stamp rally. I didn't design the little button, but we have a little button that we're offering. How cute is that? And we all did magical girls that were art themed with different colors. So I got like a mint and I did a little magical girl. Look at her. Look at she. Focus camera. Anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing. I also need to update my Twitch stream schedule because I will not be home. Therefore, I need to update my stream schedule because I post it every Saturday. I do try to stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. So if you ever want to catch me, be sure to check out my stream schedule and you can always watch me on Twitch. I do convention prep videos, I answer questions, draw, sometimes I play games, but mostly just draw because who has time to play games when you're an artist? Okay, I have done the hair. I am rocking my Noopy Bro Tank so that we can get shit done. But the hair is about to go up because I gotta cut some foam board. So currently we are a little bit short on our charms. So even though I'm gonna transfer them over to the larger boards, we might have to reformat them depending on if we get our other charms in. Because I am a professional procrastinator and I like to cut things really close and just live on the edge, we're still waiting on some packages. I don't think that they're gonna be here today, but if I check the tracking numbers and it says that they're gonna show up at some point today, we may push off our leave time because we have a little bit more flexibility than we normally do. Since the con doesn't open until a bit later tomorrow, even if we show up really late tonight and then just start early tomorrow, we should still have plenty of time. Ideally, I'd rather go and do at least a good chunk of setup tonight and then we have less to do in the morning and we can kind of take our time. However, if it's the difference between having more product and having more relaxation time, I'm gonna pick more product. So we managed to get the stickers in time, but the business cards have not shown up. My big shirt order have not shown up. I did get one of the 2 smaller shirt orders, but the really big one with the actual restock is still not here. We didn't get our charms. So 1 out of 4 isn't bad. I guess 2 out of 6 is more realistic. That's like a third. I feel like that's a win. Although as it stands, we're supposed to get our terms on Monday, which is a little bit painful because I was like this close to getting the timing right. However, we can only do what we can do, so we are doing our best. So this is them on the phone board, and then I've just been taking a really sharp little screwdriver, and then I just poke it in the corners so that I can hang it. Oh my gosh, why do you want to be in all my videos? Hang it off of the actual grid panel. So it's been a little while, but we are all packed up. We just kind of went into go mode, got things taken care of. So the car is packed. We've got food ordered. We're going to go pick it up, hit the road. It went pretty smoothly. I managed to get stuff transferred over. Everything fit well. So should be a smooth trip and we should still get there in time to set up tonight. Yay! So it's a little nerve-wracking. We're starting to hit, I don't know if you guys saw that. That was a flash of lightning. some bad weather, but according to the radar, it looks like it's going to be like a small cell, so we're not actually going to be going through much of it. Okay, we made it and we made it inside. When we got here, the doors were locked, but some nice person let us in. We found our table set up, so we're gonna go do a little bit of setup because we've only got about like 40 minutes until they kick us out, so. So we got set up and we ordered food to go, and now we're back at our hotel and hubby is off going and getting food. We stay at this place every year. We love it here. It's clean, it's cheap, which typically you don't get both. I gave a room tour last year, so I will not do that this time, but I think that we are going to settle in, get all of our stuff unpacked and whatnot, and I am going to update Blue Archive. We're just gonna kind of chill, play some video games, and hang out before we wake up early in the morning. We only got about, I'd say like 10 or 20% of our setup done tonight. So we're gonna have to wake up in the morning and start early, and we're gonna need at least a couple of hours to get everything finished, but that's fine. We are on the road. It is April 18th, which makes this day one officially of Kanpai Con. We did not finish our setup yesterday. We didn't even get close. So we are heading back to the event center a couple hours before doors open so that we can get the rest of our tables set up and try out a couple new things. So we wanted to have a little flexibility. So we have a solid 2 hours. That should be more than enough time. We'll just have to see when we get there. We managed to get some breakfast in before we left, and I actually woke up feeling very peppy, so hopefully that just rides through the whole day. Okay, we have officially arrived. We still have a lot left to do. Like I said, we barely did anything last night, but we have a lot of time, so we're not gonna necessarily go super slow, but we don't have to rush to beat the doors opening like we normally do, which feels kind of weird. So we are all set up at the table. I just snuck off to like grab some water and stuff and found a dark corner to record in before we get going. The doors are about to open in just a little bit. Hopefully there will be a good amount of people coming in immediately. I don't see a huge line, but that's okay. It's only Friday. I'm not like super expectant of that. So the doors are open. I am currently putting together our prize rally stuff. So I've got all this stuff here. I'm getting it set up while we are kind of getting going. Kind of a slow start, which is fine. Like I kind of expected, there wasn't a huge line, but more people than I expected, so. So it is about 3:36 p.m. We're about 2.5 hours since doors open. It's been kind of slow, but we get like pops of busyness. I have sat down and ate some lunch though, so I think I'm gonna like venture out for a bit and go get some goodies. We got little possums that Ichi gets to care for now. This is a little guy and then a pastel little guy. I also splurged and got a new print for my office. Isn't it freaking beautiful? So I'm obsessed. I'm actually obsessed. She also had a deal where you got a discount if you got a little Sandy. So of course I had to get a little March. Look at her. She's so chunky. I got the cutest drink in the world. It is a cherry iced chai latte and it's delicious. It's about an hour and 15 until close and it has slowed down, but we're still making sales and we're gonna be closing late until like 8, so we're gonna get food afterwards. Yay. It is 2 minutes until close and it has been a pretty good day. It's strange when you do a lot of like the bigger shows or like bigger cons where you kind of get used to being like busy. And so you think that if you're not busy, you're not making money, but that's not always the case. Sometimes with these smaller shows, you get like kind of waves of busy where you get like nothing for a while and then it's like a pop. So today's been a good day still, but it felt weird. However, we're very excited now. We're gonna go get some delicious pizza, super stoked for it, and we'll be back here bright and early tomorrow at 10 a.m. It is Saturday, April 19th, which makes it day 2 of Kanpai Con. We all got out the door pretty quickly this morning and got ready. We're actually sort of on time, which all of this feels very unnatural to me. It's weird to not be sweating as we're on our way to the convention going like, come on! We should arrive there right when it opens. Typically though, Saturday morning isn't exactly like popping right at 10. I was worried that today was gonna be too cold for my skirt, but it's actually not too bad outside. The sun helps a lot, so that's been a big perk. I'm hoping that today is a bit busier than yesterday, because yesterday we had kind of like low and then a pop and then low and then a pop. I'm hoping it's a little bit more steady today. That way we can keep our energy up. So we've been open for about an hour and it started super slow and it's really starting to pick up. I can feel like the sound and the energy rising in the hall. Fit check. I don't have a lot of space back here to show off anything. So far so good though. We've had a decent amount of sales. We're finally starting to sell some surprise bags. I think yesterday was a lot of like looking, kind of taking everything in, and now I think people are like back and like ready to buy. Look, someone gave us trinkets. How cute. I can add it to my trinket jar. So I've put on my much thicker jacket because it's really cold in here. About 3.5 hours in. We close in about 5 hours, 5.5. It's been really steady. Like the room has stayed busy. People seem to be really excited and continuing to come in the door, which is awesome. I got a chance to wander around a little bit. Not really a lot to do, but that's okay because that's not really why we're here. I ended up going through all of our prize bags that we had made from the stamp cards. So we made some like little temporary ones that don't have as much stuff, but it's something in case we get some more turn-ins. So I know we handed out a lot more cards. Also, we had to add to the Furby supremacy. Its eyes move. So it's about 3 o'clock. We've got about 4 hours left in the day. It's exactly what I was hoping it would be. It's a lot busier, a lot more steady, which is great because it makes the day go faster and it's a lot more fun. I'm finally sitting down to like have official lunch, not just snacks. We ended up ordering some Chinese food that was recommended by our friends. Got egg drop soup. I'm really excited. I'm gonna get my salad left over from yesterday that I'm also gonna eat, or wait, no, 2 days ago, whatever. I'm eating my leftovers because we don't waste food. No waste.
Sweet tier system. We've been offered a swap here, but looking at everything, man, this is actually not terrible. Okay, hold on. Yuno is not toast, okay? Come on. My boy Yuno, Brock, Vegeta, Mikey, Levi. Okay, S tier's good.
Gigi's an A.
Nah. Look at this hot garbage. You're gonna go down.
No.
You're going down. But my boy Yuno is going into A tier. For sure. I'm a Black Clover guy.
You didn't save Himmel.
Himmel?
You can make one too if you want.
Yeah, you can do one. So now it's Atomic's turn. Let's see what she will do here.
That's fine. I know that this is JoJo.
Oh, come on. Doing JoJo dirty.
JoJo.
Oh, no. Oh, he's saving him. Oh, saving Himmel.
I can't let Himmel stay in the
Going
toast.
to the A tier.
I love it. I respect that.
I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much, man.
Go!
have a little over 30 minutes until the hall closes, and you can feel it, but it is still somehow busier than I expected it to be. Everything got pretty quiet around 5 when the cosplay contest started, which I feel like is really, really normal. I feel like most halls should really just close around when the cosplay contest starts because people are typically busy being in the cosplay contest, but we close an hour after the cosplay contest ends, so I guess that's a good thing because then anybody who finishes the cosplay contest that wants to come buy something quick can still do that, especially if they're only here for like one day. Not me continuously forgetting that I have a mic. I'm curious to see if we get any other like last minute sales. One thing that I will say that I'm surprised about is that our surprise bags have not really sold as much as normal. However, I feel like surprise bags are more of like a Sunday purchase item. People are kind of like, I have $20 to my name, so I'm gonna go spend it on a surprise bag. So that might be more of like a Sunday vibe thing. After this, we're gonna go get some freaking ramen and some boba, and I'm excited. But since we got that Chinese for lunch, I'm actually not all that hungry, but I am definitely getting some boba because you cannot hold me back from my boba. Another nice little surprise is that the voice actor for Naru from Love Hina was here. So I managed to get an autograph from her, and I never see Love Hina stuff anywhere. So that was super exciting. And I am like over the moon because now I have Keitaros in my office, and now Naru's is going to go right next to it. Most of you probably don't know who they are, but they're the two main characters of Love Hina. Not that you probably know what Love Hina is. If you do, leave a comment. So apparently there is volleyball autographs happening right now in the same hotel. So they made a huge line in the lobby. I'll insert some footage here in a second, but it was crazy. Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many people line up for volleyball.
Wow. Oh, ho.
Day was good. I have changed into comfier clothing. We are currently on our way to get some ramen and boba at one of our restaurants that we like to go to called Akarui. Not only because it's one of the few restaurants that's actually open late on a Saturday since we don't get out till 7, but also because it's delicious and because boba. It is currently Sunday, April 20th. That means it's day 3 of Kanpai Con. We had a lot of fun going to the rave last night. We stayed up a little too late and maybe had a little too much fun. Maybe went a little too hard. My everything hurts. But it was worth it. It was so much fun. My voice is a little rough today. We decided that instead of trying to like make coffee and food, we were just gonna go pick some up from our favorite little coffee place that we always come to when we're here. So we're gonna go grab some delicious affogatos and food and then head out to the convention. So I have not vlogged a lot today because it's honestly just been super chill. As we kind of expected, it was a very slow day. It is technically Easter, so people are probably out doing things for Easter. We don't do anything for Easter, so we can't relate. However, we hear other people do. We have managed to sell a fair bit of stuff still, We are down to 3 surprise bags out of 30. We started the day with quite a few, like probably close to 15. We were really hoping today would kind of be surprise bag Sunday. I feel like surprise bags tend to be more of like a last day item. People are kind of like, I have $20 left to my name, I'll get a surprise bag. Definitely saw a couple of people who went around and were just getting surprise bags. They just had surprise bags and spades. Technically, we have about an hour and 15 minutes until we close. We're probably gonna pack up in about 15 minutes. We typically don't pack up early, but this show is especially slow. I think everyone's cheering over at closing ceremonies right now, so no one's really in the hall. Sales have super slowed down, and we have a 4-hour trip home, so we'd love to get out of here maybe just like a little bit early. Plus our teardown takes like an hour anyway. Got my Ocean and Space shirt on today and just some leggings so that we are comfortable. We are comfy kawaii today. We are not anything extra other than my amazing star hair clips. I think I'm gonna save the rest of my final thoughts for the recap of the entire weekend, so make sure you check that out at the end. I like to take a little bit of time to decompress after a show, compile all my notes, and sort of like reflect on everything that happened so that I can give kind of a full breakdown. Overall though, it was a good weekend from my perspective so far. A little down from last year, but that's okay because the economy is kind of in the right now. We did see that there is a crepe shop nearby though, so we're hoping to stop really quick before we go and get some crepes. It's also a perk of leaving early. We did manage to sell out of some stuff actually. We sold out of Marin keychains. This is the second time we've done that. We only have one left of our grief seed, which I think I'm probably gonna phase out because it hasn't really done too well. We managed to sell one singular tote bag, which is all I could ever dream of, it being a new product. Probably need some time to marinate before people love it. I think I'm also gonna go with a bigger size in the future. And of course, the crane game was beloved, as always. So we are pretty much all done setting up. I just have to break down the print stand and we're good to go. So our friends next to us started breaking down a little bit early, and I feel like they started a movement where everybody's like, you know, that's a great idea. So the room is kind of like sad and barren right now. There's like one little corner of people who are still like super set up, and then everybody else is pretty much leaving. In fairness though, there is a storm heading this way and we do have to still drive. Definitely doesn't have to do with the fact that we really want crepes. It is now the Tuesday following Kanpai Con, which makes it April 22nd. Happy belated Easter, everybody. I've had a couple days to sort of marinate on the weekend, as I like to do. In reflection, the convention was still pretty good. Last year, there was definitely a downgrade in quality. They no longer had their arcade room. Their tabletop room was pretty sad. Wasn't really a lot of games, I believe. And there was like, it closed pretty early. We never really went in there, so that wasn't really effective to us, but just as a whole. The dance didn't even have a DJ. It was just a pre-recorded set, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. Conventions have to work within their means. My biggest issue was just that they were charging more that year. And so it's like, if you're gonna charge more, you really should be offering at least what you had offered before. I also kind of took that as every convention can have a down year, you know? That's fair. I can give grace for that. However, you need to kind of bring it back the following year, because otherwise, like, that's how conventions die. This year was a little better, I would say. They did have a DJ. Greg Ayers was there. He was doing his thing. Amazing set. He was so good. Like, the performance was fantastic. He definitely knows how to bring it. There was no arcade room. There was 3 little computers in the hallway, I guess, that you could play games on, but that was like their arcade. There apparently was karaoke, but it was like DIY karaoke. I don't know what that means. I didn't do it, but they had it. They had the con suite both years, so that's good at least. A lot of conventions aren't even offering con suites anymore, which is fair. I get it. Food safety and all that. A lot of event centers won't let you do it. That's not the convention's fault. They had a tabletop room, but it was BYOG, so bring your own games. I don't care for that. Overall, it didn't really seem like there was a lot to do outside of the marketplace and the cosplay contest. I didn't look through all of the panels, however, because obviously I'm in the marketplace and that's where I stay. So let's talk about the marketplace. The way that this event works is like first come, first serve. So you pay for your spot and then you're in. That's it. There's no like vetting system whatsoever. It's also first come, first serve for your spot in the hall. They did try one year where they gave us spots, which I actually much prefer, but this year they decided to do away with that. And so that caused some issues. There was some vendors that definitely overstepped their bounds. There was also only about, I would say like a maximum of 50 artists and vendors combined. And a lot of the artists ended up having to be out in the hall, primarily because I feel like a lot of the vendors took up like 6 or 7 spaces, which I understand vendors have more stuff and sometimes you just need a bigger space, but it felt a little unfair to me that they didn't reserve spaces inside of the hall for those artists. Because as an artist, if I was out in the hallway, I would want to like tear down and basically pack everything up every single night. There is no security in that area. I mean, technically there's staff, but it's not like they have an abundance of staff. So I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving anything there for people just wandering around all night, because they also don't kick people out at a certain time. And then because there is no vetting system, we had not 1, not 2, but 3 weapon vendors. Now, I don't have beef with weapon vendors, but when there's only like maybe 40 or 50 artists and vendors combined, this is a little tiny room. Like you can do a full lap in 15 minutes or less. We don't need 3 weapon vendors. And so all of these weapon vendors have a minimum of 3 tables. So it's just like it filled the room with weapons. You don't need that many weapons. All in all, I think that this convention has grown enough to the point where they really need to get a vetting system and change the way that they're taking in their artists and vendors so that they can kind of make sure that that doesn't happen. They definitely have the community there as long as they're willing to, you know, put in the effort to do it. I think it could really be a lot better. I think my biggest fear is that if things continue down the path that they're going, that it could just ultimately lead to the death of the con. As of right now, I don't see that happening immediately. I will say on that note, numbers were down a little from last year. However, I can't 100% fault the con for that. There's some other factors that could go into play. I don't feel like I was down enough for it to not be worth it to me. It's crazy how the bar just keeps like moving as you grow, because those numbers years ago would have been amazing to me. So I think it's important to keep that in perspective as you like move forward, is that like your bar is always going to be rising, and kind of be able to weigh out like, do I still feel like it was worth it at this time? Yeah, I hope that they make some more improvements, but I will probably go back next year and see if it continues to go up or go down, and we'll just kind of go from there. The only exception I could see with that changing is if like I got into a bigger event in the same time frame. I don't know if I would pick this one at this point. It used to be really fun because there was like an arcade room and a lot to do, and we had a lot more variation in the hall, and now I see a little bit less. And so I'm hoping that they'll make some positive changes and take in the feedback. I guess that's all I really have to say about it. I'm normally not this opinionated about the events that I go to. I still had a really great time. It was great to see my friends. I got to see a lot of like my return customers, and one of them just had a baby. I got to see pictures of her baby and she looked amazing. Oh my gosh, I adore her. I feel like my follow-up days are gonna start being on Tuesdays, especially because I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and do cozy con chats where I talk about the event that I was just at and all of my stories and show off all of my swag. So I feel like it just makes sense. Like I'm dolled up, it's fresh in the brain. So Let's do it. Side note, you can check me out on Twitch if you ever want to see the cozy con chats for yourself. I have at least a month before I have another event. So after the 2 weeks and then 2 weeks and then 2 weeks grind, it'll be nice to have a little bit of a breather. But I also know that I can't think that way because it's gonna go really fast and I have a lot to do. On the plus side, since my merch and stuff showed up after the fact, I do already have a nice stock going. I need to get a few new things and hopefully nothing that's going on in the world will affect that too much. But I did get some new merch, including my very first stack standee. Look at that! Oh my god, I love it so much. My little Don Dodon. And then I got some new lanyards as well. So it's all very exciting. Yay for new stuff. I hope that these thoughts after the fact aren't too long-winded, and let me know if you want me to try to give a little bit more of bullet points. I don't know, maybe you guys like the ramble. Maybe you guys like the long-winded ADHD brain version of my synopsis. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys at Des Moines Con, which is my next event. And remember, stay cute. Oh, that is not going in the